What's up, everyone? So Inori back at it again. This time we're gonna be playing the new Darkin Wolf champion, Naafiri, the new Darkin that's supposedly a mid laner, one of the most broken mid laners in the game. But here I'm gonna be diverting her power into the jungle position, and she's a very much playable jungler. Takes no damage, full clears, all the things you love, ganks excessively, and you know, Riot has plans to buff her for jungle and nerf her for that position of mid lane. So I see her in the future being a very good jungler, so I just want to get that video out to show you guys what would do. So for starters, your wolves easily tanks the buff. Your Q has two effects to it. As you can see, when you smite, it does missing health damage as well, so it's just naturally good. You're going to be maxing Q into E when you play this champion. You stack your wolves infinitely. It's just super quick, and your Q applies the bleed the first part of it, and you see how you kind of like able to heal your dark wolves with your E ability. So we're going to talk a lot about that, how we're going to utilize that later on. But mostly the important thing about this champion is your wolves are just going to tank, so you don't have to worry about it much. You can cut around. Your E has a very short range for damage, so if I want to deal damage here, I have to go really close, as you can see, and just try to hit all the units with your Q to apply the bleed. If you hit them with the second Q, it consumes the bleed and does that extra damage, and your E just helps you kind of farm like that. So for paths, I think just full clear is the go-to right now. Just make sure you gotta clear up. Her W is her ganking ability, but it's not good for farming, so we're gonna wait till level 4 to do that one. Catching champs, kind of keep dragging them like that. Your Q, you utilizing it just like that, and just kind of kiting with your wolves. If you want your wolves to tank, you have to kite backwards to let them get the aggro, or else they're not going to tank. And just kind of you keep using your spells like that, and your wolves will tank even if you leave the area effect. So I can just let my jungle wolves just finish off the thing. I think she's extremely broken champion, probably the best mid lane in the game, but she also has some potential as a jungler. So I'm against Master Yi this game. I see him top side, so that pretty much tells me like I can just full clear here. I'm not even worried about it, and I'll just keep looking at the lanes I'm pathing towards. So when you want to play her, just kind of practice how she wants to gank in your jungle camps. Usually your combo is going to be you starting with a W to get on top of them. For early game, she doesn't have the same damage as you would most likely want, but what this champion does really well is just her scaling is immensely broken. Like, I mean, like, I'm talking like insane scaling. Hitting that extra Q just guarantees that kind of damage. Wolves will block skill shots. It's super broken. And they also tank tower. So that's just a huge thing for the Naafiri jungler. So once you lock that in, weaknesses, you will, if you get CC'd, it will interrupt it. So if someone stuns me, it will stop my channel. Really just think about that. And you're just an item heavily champion. You're reliant on items very heavy. Here, Zeri's coming back to lane, so I don't think I want to tangle with that. But that's just how you really want to play this champion. Very full clear farm heavy. She's all about that scaling. We're really trying to get to the item bonus. I didn't really touch on build paths. Right now, I think every lethality item is good on him. Her. And the rune page, I like my... kind of like my Silas jungle. I use that rune page. I think Dark Harvest is sort of the best rune on her. You could probably go electrocute too. I think in the future, if there's like some some world where Bruiser build is good, I might see like Eclipse into Cleaver with Conquer being really good. But that's like the general idea. Right now we're going to be doing the lethality. Dustblade is like the go-to. It's what I do on mid lane, and it just seems really broken right now. Here there might be a chance for us to gank. I'll just kind of show you guys how we're going to be doing the ganks on this champion. For starters, always just W. There's no reason not to. It just kind of gives you that instant gap close. So he has wards here, but doesn't mean he's immune to the gank. It just means I have to take a longer route to get to him. And here we just hit them with that W. Okay, maybe that was a little int. I wasn't expecting flash. I thought his flash was down. Not as much damage to tank tower there. It would have been better if he was just a little bit farther back, but it does happen. We should just go back to full. Oh, dude, I was expecting a bit more damage. She doesn't really start to take over when her ulti is where you're really going to start to take over. I mean, that's just a limit test. If you want to get good on this champion, I highly recommend you keep practicing your limit testing. I think you could have got out, bro, but he's talent, so on average, you're not really going to use your W to farm because the cooldown is so long, but you can use it. I usually use it between camps to kind of speed it up, and your wolves will just perma tank, as you can see. It doesn't really have a reset range, is what I noticed with your wolves. To reset them is you use E, and that's something we're going to use a lot in fights to kind of heal our wolf champs. So if I play against a champ that can, well, your wolves, pretty much how they work is they don't get auto attack, they just die to spells. So if a champ has a lot of AoE abilities, they will die after like 3 spell hits. So once I see it get hit by like 2 spell hits, I use my E, which recalls them, but also heals them to full. So that's like how we're going to utilize that. We're going to use them to kind of full heal and stuff like that. So if whatever I hit my Q on as well is going to kind of get that there. E goes over walls, so we can always use it to help us get between camps. Is something really gonna have to utilize really well. Really good for, you know, just gapping or closing, but it's a very important part of your damage. That's why we're gonna max this second, because it's actually very important for us to kill people with it. You can go over this wall, but this wall is a bit thick, right? So we have to go really close. So if we want to go over it, we're gonna have to go here. And you know, your wolves can tank, but you don't want them to die so quickly. So sometimes you just want to absorb, you know, free damage. Oh, I got him. Headshot. So that Q damage is really, and it also heals you when you hit the second Q. Really, this champion is all about getting items, hitting that second Q on champions, which is going to consume the bleed plus do missing health damage. And that's how you're going to kill people. That's all you want. I want you guys to practice. And once you do that, you're pretty much set to go. Here, I can just ulti if I see someone here, and then I'll just summon my wolves. You have a lot of time to cast that second Q, so you don't have to worry about it at all. You already see him. He's on Herald, so that means we're just going to consume as much jungle camps as we can here. You see, because I hit it with a Q, it just means my wolves are going to continuously attack that target. And pretty much whatever you hit, your wolves will just leap at them with Q. So if I hit with the Q, my wolves kind of aggro onto that target. Just a cool thing to remember. And here we have Dustblade. So we're just going to base. This is where you are really strong with my R. Your R pretty much just reveals everyone around you. It's pretty much, I mean, it's similar to like a Master Yi R in the sense, like it's going to give you that movement speed. It gives you a shield when you hit a target. It's pretty much everything about you. It just resets as well. So if you go into a team fight, you got 1 reset. It goes up for 15 seconds against this really important ability. Just keep practicing it. And I'm going to slowly show you guys how we're going to combo, which is probably the second most important thing. A lot of times your combo is going to be like that. Hit a Q, go for the second Q, E into the Q proc. And that's how we want our E damage. We don't want to waste our like E ability. So if you ever see that, you just go back and Q again. Your E is a very important damage ability, so it helps us nuke people down. Your W is the gap close, and the first Q will be the bleed. The second one's it's your execute. So it's really just important to know the comboing. So sometimes if you can just hit that first Q and then just get on top of them, it's gonna really bring you a lot of damage. And once you get to this point, you're just really strong. So here, I'm really happy to fight. I have my R going too, so I can just go in here. So my wolves are able to help me kill. Your wolves do tank tower here. Beautifully done, Inori. Oh, thank you. Insane damage, though. Very much insane damage. This is the Duskblade buy, really good for team fighting. Personally, for jungle, I do favor the Eclipse. I naturally feel like Eclipse will be the better build on Naafiri jungle. And also, Eclipse into Cleavers is such a nice bruiser combo. That's something, if you want to try that out, it's definitely good. I really am excited to see the jungle buffs for Naafiri next patch. I think she's an extremely fun champion. Playing her mid is super broken. I mean, she really relies heavily on roaming and getting levels. So that's why I think she's just such a good mid laner too. But they are going to keep nerfing her for mid lane, so we're going to have to watch out for that. But she's a great pickup if you like dogs. I know a lot of you dog lovers out there will have a blast playing her. And remember, you just kind of listen to me. I've played a lot of games with her, so I know exactly how kind of all her kit kind of works together. But it's really just about getting items, to be honest. It sounds like a dumb thing, but it's just get items, play around your R. So here, if I'm able to kind of just get on top of people, just get that W off and just kind of chase them down. You see how I waited to hit my second Q? Hitting the first Q, let the bleed tick. No rush. There's no rush. I hit that first Q, I keep chasing. The second Q is what I want to wait on because it does the missing health. It's going to help you kind of execute your target. And the E is right away. When I'm on top of her, she has no flash, I need an E. The E is like the extra burst to help get them low enough for your second Q. And then your wolves just kind of help you finish them off. Here, do I need tenacity? No, CDR boots is generally pretty good. This game, we're going to be going edge at night. People do prowlers as well. I'm not big on prowlers. I just think it's a good item too if you want to go third maybe. But edge at night's always a safe bet. She does have so much attack damage that I don't really feel the need to go claw yet. I might grab a third item though, seeing how I feel. Grudge is super broken. I kind of favor the grudge more than I do the edge at night. Or the prowler's call. Here, I hit that first Q. Q into that. Into the E is just like a really nice combo. So like that's just how you want to play it. But once you kind of just continue farming this item, this champion scales infinitely with just items. So you just have to get those item components. It's going to help you a lot. Because of the ulti, it gives you attack damage, spawns the extra pack mates. It's just so much AD. I get almost 100 bonus AD just from this ability, and it's been nerfed already, so you can kind of see how favorable it is. Hit that second Q. And the execute's just there. R reveals, so we can just R and just kind of keep chasing. Not fast enough to get though. Damn, I was trying to get that second Q into a one shot. Alright, you can't really dive that deep. I mean, I was just feeling it. Sometimes you know you're feeling it. I was feeling it. But you get a bunch of movement speed. And your ulti reveals all around you. Really cool abilities. My thing is, I think she's too broken because of how easy she is. Dark Harvest feels the best for sure. Dark Harvest just, I mean, it just synergizes really well with a reset champion like this. Your ulti cooldown is actually really short, so Axiom Arc, I mean, some people do the Gola Arc. You could go Axiom Arc. Honestly, would rather go Axiom Arc than I would go Crawlers, just because of the let the wolves deal as much damage as possible. Oh, dude, I actually owned there, man. With Jim, man, you got soloed by a pike, man. What are you doing? I should play that much smarter. That's not good for us at all. Oh, my dude, Kraken Slayer Jin. Say it ain't so, man. Say it ain't so, please. I had that though. I should play smarter. I was over pushing it. I'm just gonna make sure we can jungle. Why are you stealing my camps when you have waves to push? We need to play for side lane and we just have to play to farm if we want to win this. My team is not doing as well as I was hoping. So let's just make sure we keep farming, play for our item spikes. Just don't give them so many ways to come back into the game. I have ulti coming up. I don't really want to farm down. I'd rather make sure we get like a kill on GP here. Looks like he's by himself and he probably dive. I mean, you are Tryndamere. Don't you want to just... Just want to wither him down a bit. He's playing with fire. He underestimated my wolf damage. No headshot. Got him. Get the towers, boys. Oh, my wolvesies didn't really do it. Oh, this game, do I need more squishiness? I think Axiom Mark could be a good one here. But just to be safe, I think we're going to itemize for the grudge. I think I'd rather go Axiom Mark over Apollo's Claw. I think it's just... It's actually not bad after the buffs. I see it having a lot of value. But you can be interrupted with the W. Just don't think you're invulnerable. You're just... You could be CC'd, so you gotta watch out for that kind of stuff. Game, I think I'm actually feeling pretty good right now. I was able to get my item spikes pretty fast. A couple shutdowns. I think this Yi, I should be able to just instantly delete him. And once I get the grudge, it's gonna let my wolf slow, which is really important. It's kind of like Yorick, you know, your ghouls just start perma-slowing people, which is really strong. My Jin just needs items, so hopefully he just gets this item. So I actually have damage behind me. I am a reset champion, so team fights, if I get like one kill going, very strong. It's just very good for me. Hit that, hit one more, just instantly dead. My damage is just like nothing you've ever seen, to be honest. Zeri actually died, I'm trying. Oh, I got deleted. Worth it. Do you see that Q damage though? It's kind of nutty. This champion just... It's just like the fact that my art literally gives me a BF sword. And then it gives me like 100 attack damage. Empowers me. My wolfies like... My wolves deal like 50 in auto. You do... A lot of your damage is actually the wolves. So just think of it like you're actually part of a pack. Your W just literally point and clicking. You probably think like maxing W makes sense. But... It's just like the E will actually give you a lot of damage. And a cooldown is quite important. But maybe next patch if they nerf him, their nerf her, we'll see. But you can, either one is fine. Boy knowledge needs to come. Resets are here. Oh, I got the second Q. Oh, I did. He's bleeding. Lasts a long time, guys. I feel like my team kind of watched me die. What do you guys think? Either way, we got the grudge now. We're about to get our Pokemon evolution. You could technically still go Axe and Mark if you really think it's a good buy. I think it's a great item. I think this champion having ulti reset is really actually very important. As long, even though your ulti is such a cooldown, you're all about abilities. You're so much about abilities and just being tanky. Even the cleaver has a lot of value as well. Cleaver is a great god. I will probably fit in a cleaver actually after this. Being really tanky. That's what I was saying, like I think as jungle you could go the Eclipse cleaver build bot too, which is very good. Oh, he's on dragon. Come on, I just got my reset. Let's go. By the way, it's not balanced with my how much it's not balanced with grudge, man. I'm telling you. Just guys, try this build. You're gonna literally I honestly think he's not or she's not giga broken jungle yet. But if they buff her clear early game and you just get these things called items, oh, I'm telling you, it's a wild ride. Look at that bleed. I could literally just let my wolves finish the job. You can always W away to jungle camps too. But yeah, just be aware of like spells and stuff. That's generally the combo is gonna be like that W, get that, hit that Q, and you know, like the slowing effects are really important. I think this item is crucial, by the way. Do not skip the grudge. You absolutely need it. And then cleaver helps you get a little bit tankier. Kind of, this is like your general build path. Well, fighting without me is not a great idea. But I might be able to go in here, clean it up. The W range is insane. And that's a quadra. Remember, the healing on your Q is really strong too. So if I hit one target on a champion, my next Q is going to heal me. And it already heals me 200% or 200 HP. Which is really good for staying alive. And the Eclipse would benefit that. Dustplate is just insane for team fighting. I mean, as you can see, my damage with the grudge is so good. Always just let your wolves kind of tank. No, man. All right, that was a bit much. But dude, I was feeling it. I was absolutely feeling it. Bro, I was in the zone. She's so fun in team fights. Yeah, this is like the general build I would have. Your last item can be like Axiom Arc. Could be, you know, like maybe I need Maul, honestly. It's like really up for you. It's really up to you how you want to build. It's really flexible. GA also, like I could probably go GA this game. Technically DD could be really good. Yeah, I could see the DD being really OP too. She's mostly assassin. I mean, the fact that my aura gives me 60 free attack damage is quite insane. But if you kind of play her with the stuff I was kind of telling you, keep in mind, I think you're gonna have a really good time. But I hope you guys liked that video. Let me know in the comments what you think. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.